Shiurim. Let's get back to the Tzav Vzirus. We're on the 4th chapter, the Heilige Sefer from the Pisezno Rebbe, his personal journal, and this chapter is entitled Soul Healing. He's going to dissect the problem, which is that within our neshama there are problems, there are nekudas that need help, that need straightening, and he's going to teach us, hopefully, how to heal that breakage within our neshama. So let's just follow. He's going to first start off in an explanationary chapter, paragraph or two. He says, let's imagine how you would look if you had fulfilled your every wish, every thought, every desire, says the Rebbe, every mishigas that you ever had in your whole life. If you could take a mirror and look and say, let me see what I would look like if I fulfilled all those crazy things. Right? He says, how immoral, how depraved would you look? Right? We all have, this is dimension. Mind floats and sees, especially in our generation, we have so much pictures and stimuli going around. He says, you're very fortunate, hopefully, that you yourself don't look that way, right? But only because you have a certain willpower, societal willpower, personal willpower, and you've ignored all those inner voices, and you haven't expressed these foolish things, these dark things, right? You haven't expressed them in your real life. Right? But he says, and here's a tough one, he says, but are you inherently better than a jailed criminal who might have fallen foul of all these thoughts and acted out on them? Because he's no longer able to do any more criminal damage. He's locked up, right? He can't get out of his jail, chains and guards and all the But are you not the same? Says the Rebbe, are you not the same? Would not that criminal part of yourself, right, break out of the bonds of its inner prison, if only it could, right, in order to fulfill its desires, its darkest desires? Don't be so, it's a criminal, right? You just didn't act on them. So you're existing because you have tremendous self-control. Fine. Geloit Eibishter, Baruch Hashem, Mazel Tov. Right? But take it easy. He says, listen to this advice. Right? This is the second part of listen to my advice, the Rebbe says. Heal your soul at its source. Don't just rely on self-control. Because there'll be times when maybe chas v'sholom you'll slip. Because the Yetzirah, he's been in his business for a long time. And I can't excuse my, he knows how to get there. He'll bide his time, and it will simmer, and then there'll be breakage. But if you work on the source of where these machshavas are coming from, where these thoughts are coming from, then he's out of business. That's it. So let's go further with the Rebbe. Now, I've told you when we started that the Rebbe was a multifaceted human being. He had tremendous koiches. One of the main interesting, he was an expert in medical conditions. People came from all over. He would write a prescription, and it was filled in every chemist shop in Warsaw. It was just not. He understood the science of medicine. People wouldn't go to if people were asked, they would go to a doctor, and the doctor would say you need an operation, and many of the doctors say, but I will ask the Rabbiner, the Pisezno Rebbe, if I should go forward with this procedure. The doctors had respect for him. This is one of those. Where it came from, he didn't go to medical school. Can I use him by klein kind? Where they didn't go to Harvard University. He had a chush, and he read probably some books or whatever. He spoke to doctors, and he got it. He understood it. So he brings an analogy from the medical world about what we're talking about. Listen up. He says like this. Let's say someone has a gastric infection that causes him to regurgitate or to, reflux. In Yiddish they say, heartburn. Yeah. So if he visits a fellow who's not a specialist, he's not a consultant in this particular field, he's going to be treated with the symptom. The doctor will treat the symptoms. So he'll give him some antacid or maybe baking soda, I don't know, and it'll go away. Right? But he hasn't actually healed the source of the problem. So sometimes, chas v'sholem, it could come worse. And it will just, get more difficult if it's God forbid, let's say an ulcer deeper until it bursts. The underlying causes will overcome the suppressing drug, and the patient will feel worse, and it won't help that he has these antacids, because he's not getting to the point of where it's coming from. Why is it coming? But now, if you go to a consultant, to someone who understands this is his job, this is his career, he knows this is his specialty, right? He will, with his wisdom and his experience, he'll get to the cause. And with the Eibishter's help, that doctor will find and heal the infection at its source. So the Rebbe says, similarly, in the realm of Kedusha, of spirituality, there are people who are hounded with different untoward thoughts and machshavas and whimsical mind, and we see so many things, especially in our streets today, right? He said it goes on day and even at night. So your self-control keeps you from acting on that, but it doesn't cleanse the cause. It doesn't get to why it's happening. If you don't get down to the nakuda, this will go on. The Rebbe has a whole treatise he talks about, even in old age. Because if it's never been treated, it's never been treated. So the Rebbe says, look, we're going to take this one step at a time. I'm not going to, this doesn't go, right? So he says, I'll go back to the analogy that I gave you with my gastric infection. He says, the simple doctor, he will be satisfied that he suppressed your symptoms. No more heartburn. Guy goes in, don't eat so much chum next week. Okay. While the healer, the consultant, the expert, is going to aim to heal the wound. The reason where this is all coming from. Right? So that is what this chapter is going to talk about. He's just started. But he's going to explain to us, and there he talks about different traits. He says that, anger and things that we carry within ourselves and just percolate and stuff it. So we have to, he's hopefully going to teach us how to get to grips with it all. Okay. So we'll pick it up where we left off now. In the meanwhile, I have tremendous chizik to reach out to each and every one of you on these occasions, and I hope in daven that we should all be gesund and stay safe, and we should have nachas and get together soon.